right, so we were just talking about the Rabenhof Theater in Vienna, and this is a contemporary art theater.
Oh, correct.
Correct. Okay. Chile.
Since 2003, I'm art director of a theater in Vienna, and I can say it's one of the best theaters right now. We have space for 300 people, and we are already sold out every single day.
Wow.
And we came up 10 years ago with this idea to make a kind of, because Vienna is a really well-known cultural city with a lot of classical theater and opera.
Right.
And so we grew up in that surrounding, and we worked for different theaters, and we came up with this idea that theater also should be a modern thing. It's not just the old thing like it was 100 years before. It's also like a thing that is for everyday thing, everyday people. And we came up with this idea of making a mixture of classical theater and a modern kind of interpretation. So also a lot of videos are involved in it, and we also are making a mixture of different actors. So we take actors from the opera and also comedians and bring them on our stage, and they are playing. And I'm making all this art direction for this theater. And I made, I tried to develop a special look and feel for the advertisements for this theater. So I invented a new style for the posters and for the flyers and also for the internet site. And one thing I came up...
So the different mediums.
All the mediums for the advertisements.
Right.
And one thing I came up was that I'm portraying almost every actor who is on our theater in a very special style, a very special look and feel. And these are, I call it key visuals. That means the main visual for this one play. And a year ago we have had our 10th anniversary, and I counted it, and in these 10 years I produced 200 portraits of stars. And we also brought out a book where these 200 portraits are in it, like this. Oops.
Yes. From 2003 until 2013.
Yeah.
All right. And we do have, we can flash some of them, no?
Yeah, we can. We have this. I made also, like I always do, we made a video out of it.
Oh, all right.
So I just took these pictures and brought it in an animation, so that's also some moving images made out of these portraits.
Interesting.
And that's the kind of...
so in a way you immortalize these characters or these people that you feature.
Yeah. So the cover, that's really the first one I did. It's
Who's this?
a very famous comedian in Austria. And he was the first guy I portrayed in this very special way. In this very, I just using 3 colors.
Yes. The red, the black,
and the white.
And the white.
And I don't want to discuss if black or white is a color, but it's...
No, I won't get into that, yes.
And he was the first guy I did, and he was willing, and he was kind of impressed. And so he also got honored to be on the cover of this book. And from this basic look and feel, I made all the other portraits.
All right.
So I portrayed a lot of Austrian actors, but also a lot of international authors and writers, because we have one special section in our program that's almost every international writer who is in Austria to make a reading is invited to make this on our stage. So we have had Terry Pratchett there, and we have had Safran Foer there, and so that's kind of an international thing.
All right, so these are the portraits that you have
These are
done
the way
I
did.
icons of Austria.
Yeah, and it's also like IKONS is the right word there for. So it's also every of these images like icon.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can also see the expression of their faces and probably in the different fields that they come from.
Yeah.
So you also have politicians here, artists.
We have politicians in it because we're making also theater plays about Austrian politicians.
All right.
Because as I mentioned before, the way politicians work in Austria is almost
I
the same
love your
like
work
here.
because they're very powerful images, you know.
That was the main idea to bring him down to just an impressive image. It's just very graphically,
Yes.
and since I'm staying on these three colors, so over the 10 years, that also got one corporate design. So it figured out that when we hanging new posters in Vienna, everybody knows instantly that it will happen in our theater because it's this red, black, gray, white
And
thing.
they know that that's you.
That's
That's
they know
Chile.
that's yes.
All right. There's actually one photo that you made of Ilocos Norte.
That's another thing
Okay.
because
Recently, yeah, you have the Ilocos Norte.
being here in Manila and working here, of course, I'm taking the opportunity
this is the one. Yeah.
to travel around. And
Yeah.
so it happens that one week we drove up to Pagudput. So we traveled almost through whole Ilocos Norte. And there I saw a special animal, and it was everywhere. And since I'm always sketching, so I have my own notebook with me, my own sketchbook with me.
Alright.
And as you see, I also animated it.
Okay, that's cute.
And that's the thing I like to,
So this is a goat, right?
I hope.
Yes, we do have a lot of goats for.
Yeah,
you know,
that was the thing. I saw these goats just in Ilocos Norte. I don't know why it was there. They hit me.
Because we have goat for food fair during important events, like some birthday or wedding or baptism. Then we have goat.
I saw them everywhere, and
Okay.
I guess it was in Sitio Remedio.
Okay. In
We have been
Corimao.
there for one night, and I guess it's the truth that I was sketching this goat on a napkin, just sitting there, and I'm always playing around with all the
Okay.
medias, and so this goat also came out.
Oh well. Well, Alfred here also has been to Ilocos Norte last weekend, and they were guests at the Foundation Day of the Roque Ablan Senior Memorial Academy. It was the 65th anniversary, and Alfred here was so gracious to have given his time to be the guest speaker.
Yeah,
It was your first
it was my
time.
first trip to Ilocos, and
And you flew up.
I used the airplane going to Laoag. Very well organized by UNET, thank you so much. And it was very interesting to see these young students, because students are the future of every country. The only thing we can give to young people is education. Education and knowledge is the thing you can share without losing something.
Yes.
If you share money, you have only half of it. But if you share your knowledge, it's going to double. That's the unique thing about education, and
Nobody can take away from you.
you never can lose it
That's
anymore.
what my grandmother always said. You have to get your education, and if you're left with nothing, that's the only thing that you'll have, your education.
Exactly, and it was so amazing to see the young students who are coming from poor families, but who have this dream of going out of the country, providing for their family. And I think Ilocos was one of the first regions where OFWs were going to Hawaii and so on.
Yes.
So it was very impressive to see all of this. of course, Bhagutput, what should I say? I fell in love with the place. No doubt about it. The food, delicious. I really have to tell everyone, every foreigner, if you come to the Philippines, it's nice to go to Boracay. If you want to see nice beach, if you want to see church, maybe you go to Bohol. But if you want to have nice beach, nice churches, friendly people, delicious food, go to Ilocos.
Wow, thank you for that.
And it's really, really amazing to be there. And the Philippine Austrian Cultural Society also wants always to give back. And we were talking about money and politics. And actually, politicians and business people have the power to give back. So when I was talking with Chile, we came up with an idea. I call him the Andy Warhol of Austria. He doesn't like it, but when I see the style, it reminds me a little bit of Andy Warhol. So we said we will produce a cycle of 12 unique paintings. He will portrait 12 Filipinos, politicians and businessmen. We will have an exhibition here in Manila, and then we will auction off these paintings to raise funds for education. And the good thing is that the Philippines will now introduce the K+12 system, which is close to the European system. So most of the schools have to adapt. And our idea is very, very simple. We want to raise funds to help one school to adopt the K+12 system. You want to say something about your paintings?
No.
No, I would say give us some months of time. It will take time to produce the paintings. I assume in June, something like this, the paintings will be ready. We will make an exhibition. We will
That fast. How long does it take you?
He's just
How long does it take you
wasting
to
my
make
time.
a portrait?
It depends. So if you see these paintings I have done for the theater, so I'm using photo and working from this photo. So like all of my works is this multi-layers collage style. So I take the photo, scan it in the computer, then I play around in the Photoshop, then I print it out, and then I start to paint over. And then I scan it again. And so I always try to invent or to find some story.
Yeah, some connection.
Yeah,
to
so it's the hardest will always be the first one. Because that's the thing where I try to implement or find, it depends, a storyline, and then I have the all over look and feel, and then I make the rest.
All right.
So I think I would like to do it in the same way, to get or to take 12 images and then work on these 12 images.
All right.
And it's always hard to get told to be finished on June or July, and also it's also hard to.
I think it's Alfred who's in a hurry.
Yeah. But I'm willing to do that, and it would be an honor to do that here in the Philippines with some Filipino faces, and so you can be sure I will be finished somewhere in summer.
Oh, wonderful.
I said June because of one reason. We all know Philippine national hero Jose Rizal. It's in June.
Okay.
And his best friend, Professor Ferdinand Blumentritt, birthday is in September. So somewhere in between.
So September sounds good.
Okay, so this is the new project. You're not yet done with the Austrian Film Festival,
We are still
but you're already concocting a new project for the Philippine Austrian Cultural Society, or also as individuals?
It's very simple. The Philippine Austrian Cultural Society wants to give back. We were set up more than 50 years ago. Our honorary chairman, Washington Sisip, always says the same thing. We have to provide education for the people. So the Austrian Film Festival, this special cycle of paintings, always the net proceeds will go to charity. And as I said before, business people have the power to give back. Politicians have the power to serve the country, not their own interest. And I was very impressed.
Yeah, that should be the case. That should be the case.
When I read the story of Governor Aplan, the governor who was serving during Second World War, and who is your grandfather. So I was really impressed when I heard the whole story, and I just believe every person has to do a little bit to improve the situation of the less fortunate. You do it with all the things which you do. We try to do it our way. We always say we hate corruption. So we always try to partner with organizations where we know that the money really reaches the right people. So I already can announce here, we don't know yet how much money we are going to raise. A part of the money which we are going to raise is still going to the project for Yolanda, but another part is going to the K+12 system, adapted school under Secretary of the Department of Education. And for sure we will try our best to support the school in Ilocos. And the anniversary is always in March, so we have 12 months time to raise some funds and to do something with the school in Ilocos so that we can give back to the people and do something for the children.
Thank you so much to both of you. Thank you in advance for giving back, sharing the power you have, whether it's in media, whether it's in business, right?
And I really hope that the Filipino businessmen will also support it, not only Austrians. I know the Filipino community in Austria will definitely support it. There are a lot of talented artists. So we will just try to get people together who want to give back to their country. That's the very simple story. Giving back, don't ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Right, so this is actually the essence of social responsibility. You know, you have to care for your neighbor, for the those most in need.
Exactly. I mean, this world could be so nice if everyone does something, not asking what he can get additionally. And of course, in the Philippines, there are a lot of poor people. Austria is a rich country. We have to share with those people who don't have so much. And I believe there are successful business people in the Philippines, Filipinos and Austrians, who will support this idea, this project. And I really hope in 1 year, in March, we can show what we did, how much funds we could raise, and how the money was used, how we could help the less fortunate to have a better living.
Thank you so much, Alfred, for being so active in your social responsibility, and here in the Philippines especially. I know that you have also raised funds from Austria to bring and help people here in the Philippines.
Yeah, I think it's Governor Platter von Tirol, who is always very active. Actually, I was told that it's now already official. Next year he will come to the Philippines and visit it. Will be an official visit in coordination with the Philippine Embassy in Vienna.
He's been helping the Philippines a lot without having come here, or he has been here.
The previous governor was in the Philippines, but the new governor, I think he's now in power since about 7 years. He never visited the Philippines.
Right, but always helping.
But there are a lot of Filipinos living in Tirol. And by giving back to the citizen and by giving back to the people living in Tirol, he says a part of the taxpayers' money has to go to charity and has to support people abroad.
And be sure to bring him to Ilocos Norte. But anyway, for Chile, okay, those who would like to follow his blog, it's www.inmanila.at.
Tama.
Tama?
Tama.
Okay, I think you have that because it's interesting also to look at the different perspective, you know, of
That's of course the thing, because it's my and my wife's Alexander perspective where we see the Philippines.
yes.
And we started this blog first. It is in German, but recently I implemented one button where you can translate it into English, so that all our friends in the Philippines are also able to not only see the images and see the videos, also can read our short notes. And I can tell you,
And there's also interactive
interactive in that way that they can leave a guest book note.
all right, okay.
And I can tell you, since 24 months, we haven't had any bad comment on our internet site, because we are so enjoying to be here, to be surrounded with this lovely and nice people, and it's, yeah, for me it's the same thing. It's a feeling that I'm in a very good position coming from Austria, and I have the opportunity to give something back. It's really a nice feeling.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for being here with us tonight, but having Pusong Pinoy, you know, and sharing whatever you have, talents, resources, with the Filipinos.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming
Thanks for
salamat.
inviting us.
Okay, thank you for joining us this evening. This is Conson Aneta Blan. Join us again next Thursday at 9 o'clock at Icons and Circles. Good night.